Hey there, photography students. We're going to be making a daguerreotype here. And a daguerreotype is a pretty unique image that's based upon some of the first or the first photographs ever created. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our base image. And you'll see that I have a folder here called daguerreotype, and it's got dust and scratches and paper textures, but we're going to be opening up this image. Now that this image is open, I'm going to put a number of layers down so that you can see how to do what it is we need to do. I'm going to go down here to the adjustment layer. It's that little black and white cookie. Click once, and I'm going to select black and white. I'm then going to click the cookie again, and I'm going to select gradient map, making sure that the gradient map has black to white. Click the arrow, and you should see black to white. If it's not here, it should be the third one. After you do that one, click that adjustment layer again and select Levels. Then select that adjustment layer again, and you're going to select Color Fill. And you're going to make sure the R, the G, and the B values are all 0, and click OK. Now let's turn the eyeballs off for the color fill, the levels, and the gradient. Select the black and white, make sure that we have the marching ants around it. And I'd like you to adjust so we can get some dynamic range between the darks and the lights of this image. So as we move the colors, you can see, oh, that's affecting little bits of the hair. It's introducing noise into the background though. So we won't use that one. There we go. So with cyan, well, we can make that beard a lot whiter, or we can darken things down a little bit. So let's do that. We'll darken the shirt a little bit. The blues are there. Magentas, oh, that affects the mouth quite a bit. We'll just keep that relatively neutral. Let's go back to the reds. That gives us some dynamic difference between a highlight and a shadow, and we'll do a little highlight in the hair. Turn on the gradient map and make sure the eyeball is on. That looks like we're getting a really good transition between our shadows and our highlights, so we'll leave that. Now, we turn the levels layer on and highlight it, making sure that the eyeball is on. Now this is where it gets a little bit weird. We just created a lot of dynamic range between the shadows and the highlights. Now we're going to go to this little black icon, and we're going to move that up, and we're going to muddy the image. We're going to make it less contrasty. So that's kind of the look you're looking for in your image. Now we go up to our color fill layer, make sure the eyeball is turned on. Click not in the word color fill, but just to the right of it. And the layer styles dialog box opens up. Click on the word gradient overlay, not on the checkbox. What we're going to do is go to about 40%. That makes this circle fairly dark. And you might wonder how we get that circle. That's based on the style. So make sure that the gradient is the black and white, and that the style is not angle or linear, but it is radial. That means it's going to give us a circle. And if you're not sure, we can make that bigger or smaller. And we can offset it left and right. That's the x-axis, or up and down. Or you could grab it and move it very carefully. That looks pretty good right there. So about 40%. I'm going to leave it at 47, leave it on the blend mode of screen, and click OK. Once you come back, making sure that the color fill layer is highlighted, click Normal and change that to Screen. Now, at this point, we can go in, click on this arrow, it's actually called a caret, and double click on the word Gradient Overlay. The dialog box will open back up. You can now adjust how much of the center of the image is not muddied and how much of the outer area is muddied. So there's our normal image. And here we've muddied a little bit more around the edges. Maybe 40% is good. So click OK. Now that we get to this stage, there were a few files that we had downloaded, and we're going to place those in. Making sure the layer color fill is selected, go to File, Open in Place. We're going to be opening Dust and Scratches 1, And some people like to just leave it like this and stretch it out top to bottom, but other people might like to go Edit, Transform, Rotate 90 degrees. Move this to the top corner, grab the bottom corner, and drag it down until it fits. Then click on the checkbox. This blend mode, we're going to change from normal to screen. And that's going to give us some of those scratches that we see. Now, if we open and place the second Dust and Scratches image and do the same process of the Edit, Transform, Rotate, I might change that one a little bit more. I'm going to transform it. I'm going to rotate it 180 from that. Move this up. So we'll have lots of scratches on the front of the image, which is the face. Click the checkbox. And again, that layer will get turned into screen. So far, so good. Now we're looking for a paper type. So there are two that we can use, and we will open and place both of those, and we will look at them individually. The first one, here's the edge, the paper type that we're going to use. And same thing, we can go Edit, Transform, Rotate, let's see, 90 clockwise. Yeah, move this clockwise. Move this to the top, grab the bottom, drag and fit right to there. Checkbox. Now this one, we want to show the darker colors. So we're going to change the blend mode to multiply. We could leave the image just like this. I'm going to show you the second version, open in place. And we will go Edit, Transform, and we will rotate 90 degrees. Let me bring that to the top, drag this from the bottom, and change, after we click the checkbox, change the blend mode to multiply. So we could turn off this layer right here, edge 1 gets turned off, and you can see what edge 2 looks like. Turn on the eyeball for edge 1. I kind of like that. That's a little too dark. You could use both if you want, by changing one of them to 0 and just adding a little bit. At this stage right here, we would be done working on our image. Now, it's possible for you to select the background layer and go File, Open, and for us to grab any image that we have. And I will just go 8510. And I will rotate this image, rotate the image 90 degrees, place it in the corner. Now on this one, I'm going to hold the Shift key when I grab the edge so that it constrains the proportions properly. Click the checkbox. And now there's one last really cool tip. Image, not edit, image transform. And we're going to rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise. That will rotate all of the layers to this line. Let's turn all of this off. All those eyeballs will get turned off. Let's see what this looks like. That's good, that's good, that's good. This one is not good. That's where we're seeing the gradient. So we will click, turn that off. Let's see how this looks without that. I think that looks pretty good. So we can find where the error was, because see that really weird line that we got? That was coming from right here. So we could do a bigger scale of that one, but I don't know if that's going to fix it. Let's turn that on. Gradient overlay. Let's just see. Okay, that's not looking too bad. And there is our second image that we could have created. All right, I hope this tutorial has helped you.